Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters Business, your source for everything business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Julie Franke on the line, and she's CEO over at Electronic Merchant Services. Julie, welcome to the show.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Oh, man, all is well. Excited to get into today's topic. I mean, merchant services is a big deal. A lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives listening, and I know you have a certain philosophy of sitting on the same side of the table as your clients and negotiating for them, and I want to get into that. But before we do, how about you give us a little bit more of the background on Electronic Merchant Services and what you do?
Okay, great. So my husband and I started a company about 20 years ago for merchant services for businesses, and we primarily work with businesses that were local and that we really got to know our clients. So over the years, we really started seeing how businesses were growing and that we were part of this. We were part of something that was really important to them. And so how businesses grow is something that we've been super passionate about. Now, in 2015, I actually took over the company, and now it's completely run by me. And one of my biggest passions is seeing a business start up, or even seeing a business that is being taken over by somebody and watching them be able to grow and knowing that I was part of that growth. So in a sense, I get to own or be part of all these different types of businesses and not actually be the owner of them, but get to be a key instrumental player of it.
Oh, I love it. You're a complete small business advocate. I am too. One of the reasons I do this podcast is I love providing a platform for business owners to tell their stories and their life, because I think we're all united by that connection, and I think it's amazing. So here you are. You started this business. Years fly by. I mean, your business has been around in over a decade. I mean, that's no small feat. So first, congratulations on that, of course, as a small business owner. Let's get into some of the a little bit more specific into some of the services that you offer, just so that the listeners to this, they know if they're the right type of client to follow back up with you.
Okay, so we do credit card processing. So any business that accepts credit cards has to be able to have somebody to process with. That processor is a necessary third party, and your payments, mostly credit card payments in most businesses, are the number one way businesses stay in business. Very few businesses are able to be in business without having money coming in. And we provide that service for them. We also provide other payment services, but that's primarily what we do. We have a few niche industries that we work in, like I said, startups. We also do high-risk merchant processing, which high risk means a lot of different things, but when merchants hear that word, it scares them, and that's something that we can help navigate through that world of. And one of the other niches we work with are just local that we, in that we get to be part of their business. So a business owner who wants to have conversations with their partners. So if they are a business owner who wants to be part of their accountant, they don't want to just hand everything over to their accountant. They want to be part of it. That's a good fit for us because it's a conversation. It's not something that I'm running for them. It's something that I'm helping them run on their own.
That's awesome. And yeah, just the word high risk, I'm like, you know what doesn't sound appealing to me? High risk podcasting. I'm like, do not sign me up for high risk podcasting. Give him his mic and throw him into some sharks. No, don't do that.
Well, in reality, high risk processing is much more common, and I think a lotot of business owners
I said podcasting, not processing. Podcasting.
I know, but I'm just saying high risk. I think that's a word that we throw around there, but it exists.
I'm not in for that.
Very exciting.
So now let's get into your philosophy behind, how you run your business, because I know you pride yourself on sitting on the same side of the seat, so to speak, or the table, so to speak, as your clients in negotiating, and you're really their advocate. Tell us a little bit more about that and how that works.
Okay, so we're really differentiating ourselves that way. A lot of times when business owners set up merchant processing, they kind of look at it as they're setting up a utility. This is just something I have to set up. It's all one size fits all. Or that isn't the case. We want to work with business owners for them to understand that we're partnering with them. We're helping them take the payments, the part of their business that keeps them in business, and we want to grow that. We want to grow those payments coming in, and we're doing it less of a utility, like you're signed up to take payments, but we're going to work with you for the lifetime of the account. So that way, all of that money is coming in. It's cost effective for you. And we do this in, I think, a very unique way. We're really transparent about how we make money. It isn't in my best interest to overcharge my clients because they won't be my clients next week. It's in my best interest for my clients to understand where our profit comes from so that they understand my profit comes from their profit. So every time I'm advocating for my business owner to do a particular thing or how I think that their account should be structured, it's because I think they're going to make the most money that way. And the more money that they make, that's how our office makes profit. And so if they're making more money and as their business continues to grow, it helps my business to grow. So our selfish desire of all business owners, we want to be able to stay in business. My selfish desire is actually what is in my client's best interest because my desire is going to be their desire as well.
No, I love it, and it's a win-win scenario, and I like that.
Yes,
so that whole transparent payment option, or I should say the transparent or margin that you charge being up front is pretty unique. I don't know that it always works that way, so to speak, and I think that's why your field is quite competitive. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people, and I've always found it so interesting because I never really understood, and that is how one person can come in and offer just a 5% or a little bit less percent discount or this, that. And I'm like, what is the race to zero? Why isn't somebody just transparent, give somebody a great deal, great service so that this person doesn't have to keep on redoing their thing every time somebody knocks on their door and says they can save them 5 or 10%.
The race to the bottom is actually my biggest pet peeve because race to the bottom means let's cut out service.
Oh, yeah.
Every step of the way. And it's an industry that's has a really bad reputation for the sales people in it, similar to the used car industry. And so I think the way that the used car industry has, or even in the new car industry sales, how they provide their invoice for that car. I don't know if you've seen that, where a lot of times the salesman will say, this is our company's invoice. This is what our markup is. And that has changed in the industry over the years. I've seen how that has affected my buying. Like, okay, I see how much you're making. I think you have to make something. You're a business. And that makes my ability to make a decision a little better, that I understand the factors of how you're getting to that number. So when I come in and say, this is the number, I've explained to my customer how I've gotten to that number and what my purpose is behind that number. Because we're all in business. We're all here to make money and we all have bills to pay and margins to cover. And if you don't understand what my margins are, it could look as if I'm gouging you on something.
No, I love it. It's great stuff. So, Julie, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on electronic merchant services, what's the best way for them to follow up and to reach out?
Well, I have two particular ways. If you go to our website, we have tons of information, including all of our telephone numbers, email addresses, and things like that. And our website is very easy. It's emspayments.com. And also, I have an Instagram account that I post tips daily about business tips as well as processing tips. And these are tips that truly business owners are expected to know, but can't possibly know everything. So, we are all held to certain regulations and laws and guidelines, but if nobody has ever told them to you, then how could you be expected to know? And my Instagram handle is the same as our website, EMS Payments.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Julie, it's been awesome having you on the show and learning more about your business, your background, and all the great work you're doing for your clients. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. If you're watching this on our Money Matters YouTube channel, Money Matters Business, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, give it a like. Leave us some comments in the comment section. Let us know what you thought. Love to engage and continue the conversation there with you. And Julie, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.